Hello from Vancouver again, friends. Anybody who's watching, I really appreciate you watching. I'm going to try something a little different tonight. Excuse these awful gloves. These are a replacement pair I bought for my other ones, the black ones I was wearing that were the washable hairdressing ones, hair coloring ones. These ones also are washable, but they're a little too big and they tend to stick very easily. The other ones didn't start doing that till they were very, very well worn in, and even then they were not like this one, but this is what I have for now, and I'd rather protect my hands as much as possible. So tonight I'm going to try something different. I'm going to use the Artists Loft ready-made pouring paints again in the 6 colors that I had originally bought when they were on sale. So the bright yellow, the phthalo blue, the titanium white, the aqua green, the violet, and the crimson. So I'm using 2 8x8 canvases. I just got these from the dollar store, so that's 20.5 by 20.5 centimeters. For those who like to do metric, I kind of do both, but 8x8 or 20.5 by 20.5. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do some, I'm not sure what to call it, but I'm going to use bubble wrap, which I've used before. I'm going to put the paint on here, and then I'm going to put the piece of bubble wrap on there. And what I've actually done is taped 2 pieces of bubble wrap together, so bubbles down on one side and bubbles up on the other, so that it's got texture on both sides. And then I'm going to take the other canvas and put the paint on the bubble wrap in this case, just because it's easier, and then flip that canvas up like this and press them all together and then pull apart and see what I get. So a fun, interesting experiment. I have no idea how it's going to turn out, but I'm pretty excited to find out. So I'm not putting these paints on in any particular order. I'm not sure if I'm going to end up putting them on in the same order on each canvas, but here we go. So I'm just gonna dribble on. I know one of my favorite YouTube artists, Jilly Coob in Australia, likes to use the chevron pattern, which is great and comes up with some good patterns, and I've used that before and loved what I've achieved with it. But I'm just going to squiggle these on today and not worry too much about the pattern. We'll just see what we come up with as we once we smush them together along with the bubble wrap. So bear with me here as I layer all the colors, like I said, first doing on this one, and then bubble wrap on top, and then the colors on the bubble wrap and the next canvas on top. So not sure if you can hear the country music in the background there. I'm trying to keep it low so that it doesn't disturb with my voice, but I really do love listening to country music in general, but also when I'm pouring, because it just, I don't know, helps my my mood, I guess you could say. I love country music, so okay, we're getting there. We got crimson next. Not a huge fan of red in general, but I think it'll look nice in here. So as you can see, I'm not really making any particular pattern with them, with the colors. I might tilt this a little bit just to fill in any gaps, because I don't want there to be bald patches on the canvas. But that being said, you can fill that in anytime, either just tilting a bit or using a balloon kiss idea. But yeah, I'm going to tilt these just a little bit just to make sure that everything's covered. Okay, so I'm just going to tilt this a little bit. I just have push pins in the bottom of each canvas. Just normal size office ones, because I can't seem to get the super large ones here that people so like to use. I know I could order them on Amazon if I really wanted to, but I make do with these, or I put cups under my canvases. It's all good, it doesn't really matter. So I'm not trying to, I don't want to mix these too much. I just want to help fill in the gaps a little while I'm doing this. Pretty cool looking just like this. Just want it to spread just enough so that there's no bald spots, like I said. Hope everybody's having good weather or something where they are. I know that they've finally gotten some rain in Australia where those catastrophic fires are, so that's good news. I hope it keeps up for them. In my country, in Canada, in Newfoundland, which is the opposite end of the country, for me, I'm in the west coast, and Newfoundland's the east coast. They've gotten horrendous, like, emergency blizzard disaster type conditions, 70 centimeters of snow and all kinds of pictures on Facebook with people like open their door and it's just a solid wall of snow. I'm very glad I'm not there. We have had our share of snow in Vancouver over the last week. Tremendous amount for Vancouver compared to a lot of places I know, not as much, but a city like Vancouver that gets snow rarely just does not know how to handle large amounts of snow. So it's been one day on Wednesday last. This is Saturday today, the 18th, 19th, I don't even know. Anyways, on the Wednesday I couldn't actually get to work on transit because the Sky Trains, as they're called, weren't running very well or very often because it had trouble with the doors freezing, etc. Okay, so now let's grab a paper towel. I'm just going to put that bubble wrap on top. Just going to lay it gently on top. And then I'm going to start spreading the colors. Try and do them in the same order, not necessarily the same pattern, just to see what happens. I want to make sure this is covered well though, because I can't really pick up the bubble wrap now that it's on top of the other one. Because to tilt it, obviously, so I'm going to try and make sure I fill in as much of this space as I can. Okay. This month of January is going really fast. We're already well into 2020. I'm not sure if anybody makes New Year's resolutions. I tend to make what I call New Year's intentions, goals for what I want for the, that was too big a blob there, goals that I want to achieve for the next year or so. Oh, another big squirt there. This one's going to have a lot of teal in it. I might have to redo some of the other colors. Anyways, so I've set a few and I'm working on them, getting there slowly but surely. I saw a funny thing on Facebook the other day about actually starting your New Year's resolutions, or whatever you want to call them, February 1st, because January is a free trial month, which I thought was funny. Anyways, all right, so there we go. Okay, just get these out of the way. Put the lids on, snap those caps back. So this should be interesting. We'll see what we're going to get here. Okay, let's make sure my fingers are reasonably clean. Okay, so here we go. We're going to take this other canvas and put it right on here. And I'm going to press down kind of hard because I want to press through so that the other canvas is getting fully covered also. Trying not to move, but there's a lot of paint on both sides of the bubble wrap, so it might slide a bit, but that's okay. It'll probably just help with the pattern overall. And yeah, it's making, my gloves are making the canvas, the back of the canvas, a little bit dirty, but I can either paint over that or nobody's going to really see it. And I consider it to be part of the process and don't worry too much about it. Okay, just make sure the corners are well down. All right. Are we ready? Let's see what we got here. Ooh, I like that. What do you think? That's pretty awesome for the first one. Good, there's a couple tiny little bits of bare patches there, but I can fill that in with just a little bloom kiss or a finger pop. Just going to put that one down there. Now, taking the... I'm going to take it this way. Hopefully I won't spill it on me. I usually have particular clothes that I, you're seeing this before I am, that I paint in, but I didn't feel like changing tonight. Hopefully I won't regret that. Oh, look at that. Okay, so this one looks different. Maybe because of the way I lifted it off, maybe not. There's a lot of air bubbles in this one, so I'm going to give it a torch. But there's the second one. Hope you can see that without too much glare. Got a little bit smeared there, but I'm okay with that. I kind of like the effect. But that's pretty awesome. So 2 canvases, pretty quickly done. Hopefully you can see both of these. And a totally different look, really, even though I used the same colors, although I didn't, and I put them on in the same order as you saw, but I didn't necessarily put the same pattern, that's for darn sure. But I really, really like those. So, so pretty. Not sure if I'm going to do any balloon popping. This one I think is perfect as it is. I might just give it a little torch because I can see some tiny air bubbles, but it's beautiful. Oh, what I might do though is just open that back up because there's so much paint there, and use it to cover my sides of my paintings here. So I'm just gonna raise it, lower the, sorry, I'm gonna try and get, hope this is in the, let me just move it over here, even though it's gonna create a bit of a mess. Okay, so now you can see, so I'm just going to, woo, that's wasn't supposed to happen. So see, now my sides are nicely covered, although I pushed a little too hard and it came up on the edges of the painting, which I didn't want it to do. That's okay. Okay, so now my edges are all covered pretty. This moved a little bit, I think, just because of the paint is still very wet, so it's moving. I'm even just now, I don't know if you can see it moving downwards a little bit. And I'm going to get it to run back this way to get some of that stuff off the edge. But that's pretty awesome. I'm liking that for sure. Just going to put that one down and do the same one to the other, same to the other one, but I'm just going to try and do it not quite as intensely. I don't want any of the paint going onto the front of the canvas this time. So it's not quite, I can just finger pop that to cover it the rest of the way. And there we go. Very prettily covered, all the edges covered easily. And that's the end of that one. Oh, I'm so liking those. I hope you do too. Now this is a mess. I know some people think what a waste of paint and they might let it dry or make skins with it. I've made, or keep it and then use the skins to make something else. I have done that with a jewelry idea. Not sure how much I'm going to pursue it though, so I know it's a bit of a mess here, but I'm just going to let that go. But there you go. Very, very happy with those. Thanks again for watching. Have a good night. Have a good weekend, everybody.